Okay, Miza, are you ready?
Okay.
These
Intro jingle.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Tuesday Table Talks. I'm Nasrul.
And I'm Miza.
And this is
The Blabber Station.
Okay, so what is Blabber Station? Okay, that's of course the first
Yes.
question that we have to ask. Okay, so let's talk about ourselves first. So my name is Nasrul, and I have a 8 to 5 day-to-day job. I'm engaged with the most prettiest lady ever in this world, Miza, which is my co-host of this podcast series. I want to tell the people about my hobby lah. So my hobby is I play music, and I enjoy playing music, and also I do some photography. You know, all of those, all of like the artsy stuff lah. But I can't draw. Okay, so Miza, you want to tell more about yourself?
Yes, I'm Miza. Okay, so I have a 8 to 6 job actually, as executive. Okay, then my hobbies. I love reading. Okay, fictional stories lah. Reading like novels. I'm actually in my 100 challenge, 100 books challenge this year. I don't know if I can make it by December, but I hopefully can.
I'm sure you can.
Other than that, yeah, I'm engaged to Nasrul. Full stop. Nothing else. That's all.
Okay, fun ber.
Yes.
Okay lah. So from there we can tell the kind of person each of us are like
In this relationship.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that brings us to the
topic for today lah.
the topic for today. But before we dive into what we're gonna talk about today in Tuesday Table Talks, Blabber Station consists of 3 series.
Series.
We have 3 types of series that we're going to do for this podcast. So the first series being the Tuesday Table Talks.
Which is this topic today.
Yes, and from the name itself, you know that this series will only be released every Tuesday. We're not sure if if you want to do it every week, because we don't think we can commit to that. But do look up on Tuesdays lah for this episode. Then next one would be
We have Mondays with Miza.
Yeah.
So that one will be led by me lah. So I'll be doing a lot of the talking. So like I said, I love reading. So I would like to take that series or episode to actually share with you guys, like the different types of books that I've read. Specifically one book like per episode lah. So I'll share you guys what's the story, what is so interesting about the book, and sometimes maybe if I find any fun conspiracy theories, I will share.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we can talk. We can discuss about it lah. Yeah, what our views on it. Yeah, and then lastly we have
Spooky Sundays.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you know lah. But
that's Nasrul's forte lah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's forte. It's just that I have too many experiences for me not to share with all of you lah. Yeah, so Spooky Sundays will be released every Sunday. Like I said, we don't know if it's gonna be every Sunday or it's gonna be 2 Sundays in a month. Yeah, so we just going with the flow lah with this podcast basically.
Yeah, it's just basically the podcast is us having fun, talking about our favorite topics, the things that we like to do. So we have segregated it into these 3 series lah.
Yeah, so Tuesday Table Talks is basically like a collective effort between me and Miza. Then Mondays with Miza is Miza's, and then Spooky Sundays is me. So so it's a really fun thing lah.
So of course we are not professionals. So every time we talk about something, it's like we are not professionals, so don't take us word for word lah. So we are only here to share what's in our thoughts, in hopes that all of you all can relate to it. You know, just share, just talk about it, like have fun lah. Nothing too sensitive. We will try to avoid it. Yeah, but something that we enjoy.
If we're ever going to cover such sensitive topics, we will definitely give the trigger warnings and things like that and disclaimers. Yeah. So
Talking about today's topic. Okay, let's
Yes,
start with
but I
that.
think we shouldn't straight away dive lah, huh?
Oh,
We
true,
should
true.
actually talk
Sorry,
about
I'm
why.
very excited. That's why.
Because I think we should tell the listeners why did we even started this podcast. I mean, amongst our circle of friends, I think it's a bit shocking for them to find out.
Oh yeah.
Our closest group of friends are like, what? Nash and Miza is doing a
Maybe
podcast.
they expected from Nash, but not from me. I'm like, why is Miza on board with what Nasrul is doing?
Exactly. Yeah. So why we started this podcast? Okay, so me and Miza, I wouldn't say that we are avid listeners because that is so we Malays call it world lah. We are not avid listeners lah, but the podcast that we listen to, I listen to things like horror podcasts, you know. You have the Hafiz Rahman's version of ghost stories.
Yes, Cerita Hantu.
Yes, and you have KC Champion version of his ghost stories, and then me and Miza together we both listen to Ustaz Tambih Hamsani for Kisah Rukia SG.
Then for myself, I listen to Bailey Sarian, the Murder Monday Makeup Mystery. So it's a podcast that I listen to every day, like while I'm doing work.
Then we are very much inspired by these two British like this British couple lah. They have this podcast, Shagged, Married and Annoyed. They are such a fun couple to listen to, you know. Their episodes are like 1 hour plus kind of episode, but I listen to their episodes, you know. So we are very inspired by that lah. Like a couple doing a podcast, like why not? You know, we can actually share about what we go through together. Then any of you, like if you ever listen to these kind of stories, if you can relate to it, that's a bonus to us lah, for us lah. Yeah, so that's why we started this podcast. You know, we are so excited to share what we have in our mind, you know. Yeah, and also why Blabber Station? Why that name for this podcast? Yeah, so you want to tell the listeners?
Because we will be blabbering.
Yes, especially during
self-explanatory lah.
Yeah, so we just like to blabber lah. Behind closed doors, like behind the scenes, me and Miza, right? We actually kind of talk quite frequent lah.
Yes.
We don't enjoy dates like
a typical date lah, where you
like watch movie, you know, things that you do.
Go
like
eat.
that,
I mean, eat is yes lah, but not like movies, eat, then okay, finish. It's more of like me and Nasrul, we like to have like topics that we can talk about. Anything not even related to us also, never mind.
Yes, and like of course, the most interesting thing to do as a couple is tea spilling. Yes. Definitely, that's one of my favorites lah.
Gossip while on the treadmill, side by side.
Yes,
like some machi-machi.
That's what we do. We go to the gym. We both sign up for Anytime Fitness. We go to the gym.
Yes.
Then we get on the treadmill side by side.
Yes,
and
just
we gossip.
tea.
Yes,
spill.
Just spill the tea. So that's that lah for Blabber Station. So that's the overview of it lah. Okay, enough with all of that.
Yes.
So let's get down. Let's get down to this topic today. Okay, so I'll leave it to Miza.
Okay, so today's topic, we will be talking about relationship dynamics and love language.
Yeah. Spicy.
Spicy. Okay, so relationship dynamics. So what do you think is our relationship dynamics, Nasrul?
Well, before we talk about ours, maybe we can give a general picture lah. Relationship dynamics is like what lah. So to those of you who is a bit like first time, you know, like hearing this term. So the layman way of saying is basically how you work as a couple. We can picture it in many different ways. Like the most basic is who's the alpha, who's the beta.
Yes.
So who's the decision making person and who is the one who will be following because you cannot make your own decision.
Yeah. Who's more expressive or romantic?
Yes.
Or who's more like laid back?
Yes.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, like adventurous and you know, boring. Like basically, those are the kind of dynamics lah. I mean, obviously, you can have a couple that who is both adventurous, and their love story will be definitely be different compared to us lah, me and Miza.
Yes.
So, about me and Miza, relationship dynamics, I would say that in this relationship, I proudly say that I'm the beta to this in this relationship, because I feel like Miza do most of the decision making things lah, you know. She makes more of the important decisions that we have lah throughout the course of this relationship. Yeah, and then after that, for about the adventurous and who's boring, that is,
I think depends lah. Like for example, adventurous as simple as arcade lah, I think Nasrul don't like to take the roller coaster. While for me, I'm okay with certain roller coasters.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how adventurous Nasrul is lah.
I mean, like, adventures can mean a lot of things.
Yeah
lah. In a generic way.
Yeah,
who
but I
is
think both of
more
us,
open.
I think sometimes both of us are quite adventurous also. Like try new things. Like anything lah, anything new, we are open to it.
Yeah, it can be it can be as simple as trying new food.
Yes.
You know, those kind of things, you are adventurous in that manner.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be physical exertion, you know, like you have to, I need to go to Pulau Ubin kind.
Yes.
Because
yes.
only then that, only like that I'm being pictured as adventurous, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then at some point of time, I am the boring one lah. When we talk about food, yeah, I am very picky in what I eat. But Miza is a trash can.
Oi, hello. Nasrul has like specific vegetables that he eats lah. So for me, I like to try a lot of things. So for him, it's like, no, I don't like. Yeah, even fruits lah.
Yeah,
so as simple
that's
as that.
boring lah.
Yeah, if you're talking about romantics, like being more expressive, that would be Nasrul. Yeah, Nasrul is the dream boyfriend.
I'm a lover lah.
Yeah, heartbreaker. I'm a heartbreaker. Yes, then while me, I'm not very expressive. Yeah, so Nasrul balance me out lah. Yeah, I won't say I'm expressive lah at certain points. It's just that Nasrul is much more romantic, expressive. He likes to plan a lot of things in this relationship lah, which I'm thankful for lah. If not, if Nasrul is like me, I think our relationship is just stay home text.
Yes, I mean, okay, let's expand more about this romance thing. Okay, since it's something like I like to talk about because it's like as if I'm stroking my own ego. Yeah, so just a story to share. This is gonna get a bit cringy lah. So don't tell me I didn't warn you all. So how me and Miza went to our first date.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's so of course how we met, how we meet each other, how we know each other. Actually, we know each other for a long time already.
Yeah,
we went to the same secondary school together.
We have one mutual friend lah. Okay, our very close friend.
Yes.
Which is Iskandar Mazlan.
Yes.
Iskandar, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry.
Special mention to you lah, my brother. So how we meet is basically Iskandar, you know, kind of engineered the both of our impressions towards each other. You know, Is is selling koyo about me to her, then Is sells sells koyo about her to me, like that, like those kind of things lah. Then after days and weeks went by, you know, then we have the Instagram game, we have the Twitter game, then after that, Sui comes to her, Miza's birthday on 5th of September.
Yes. Oh, thank you for telling everybody my birthday. Thank you very much.
Yes. We shall need to remember lah. Okay. 5th September, Sui, 5th September, midnight, like that kind. Slide, baby, in Twitter.
It's very smooth, this one.
Happy birthday, Miza.
He texts already, and then he MIA, guys.
I off my phone.
He MIA, guys.
Yes, I off my phone because I was too scared to see what she replies. Because I don't know whether or not she would want to reply lah. Yeah, so that's that. So after that, it builds up to our first lunch together, and then after that, blah blah.
First proper date.
Yeah. And
he
then,
very romantic one. Okay, he's so romantic. So our first proper date was his birthday and as well as Halloween Horror Night. So before the Halloween Horror Night, so we went to Sea Aquarium at Sentosa. Oh, he very smooth one because at that point of time we were just dating, haven't officially officiate our relationship to girlfriend boyfriend.
Steady boom pipi lah.
Wow, so we took we very adventurous at that point of time. So we wanted to take the cable car to Sentosa. So in the cable car, guys, he gave me one box. So I was like, oh, then inside the box, it's quite a medium-sized box lah. So inside the box got like
it was a Swarovski gift box.
No,
Yeah, it was Swarovski.
It's not. It's not. No. It's a normal box first.
Okay, okay.
Then you put like the the shreds of paper. So suddenly got this knot. It's a what knot? What is it called? Love knot. So it's a love knot. So at that point, so when I saw the knot, I was like, oh, okay. So he gave me this box with this knot only. Oh, okay lah. Never mind. Okay.
So that knot is just a piece of thread. So can you all imagine?
Yes. So I didn't know that the real gift was by the bottom of it. So I was like, when I see it, then he's like, shit, I think she thought that I'm going to give her only the knot. Then he was like, you have to dig inside. Oh, then I don't know if I bodoh or what lah. So when I dig inside, then it's the Swarovski necklace that he bought for me. So that is his sign, that is his proposal to me for me to become his girlfriend. Yeah, I really thought he want to give me the knot only. And I'm like, apa sia, this one give me knot in the middle of the cable car. Boring pun. So many paper, waste paper this one.
Yeah, so you see, like that story itself, you can see what kind of dynamic we have. Definitely. Miza is the one lacking in her romance part of her life lah.
Okay, heartbreaker.
So yeah lah. So like those are the kind of things lah. Then of course, for that day to happen, it took a lot of planning. So she didn't know lah, obviously. So I planned a lot of things for that day to happen. Like finding the necklace. Then after that, thinking about how to get to Sentosa in the most private way possible.
Yeah. And then there's me who just have to turn up.
Yes.
Just turn up for the event.
Just turn up, open the box and dig.
Yes.
That's all she have to do.
Yes.
She never do.
Yes. So but that balances out our relationship, because for me, even though I'm not expressive, but I'm very laid back, I'm okay with anything. Like if he proposed something, okay, let's go here, I'm like, okay, let's go. I have no objection lah, in a sense. Yeah, so that balance out, because if I always believe that if there's in a relationship, if you have too much of the same thing, right, it might for me personally, it might boring me a bit lah.
It might bore you a bit.
Bore. Sorry. Sorry. It might bore me a bit. Okay, sorry, my English.
MC today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Might bore me a bit. Like that is me personally. But I know that there are couples out there who like they enjoy the same thing, and that makes their relationship like stronger. But for me, I feel like you need to have some differences in the relationship to balance me out. Yeah, at least. Definitely,
I have the same view. That's why we are together lah.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes I feel like, me being in music and doing a lot of photography stuff. So all those things are hectic to me. So sometimes I actually need some dullness in my life lah. I just need a quiet place to go home to. So I'm thankful to meet Miza lah. The nerd bookworm.
Bodoh.
She have nothing but share her summaries of the novels she read, which is interesting lah.
Yes.
I do a lot of talking, outside, but then when I come to Miza, I'm the one listening.
I'm the audiobook that he don't need to subscribe to.
Yes. So since she's in her 100 books challenge, so I have 100 summaries to look forward to lah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so from there, let's expand on what's our love languages.
Yes. Okay. So we know love languages, there's 5. There's words of affirmation. Then we have quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. Okay, Nashro, what do you think is your love language? Because for me, right, I think your love language is words of affirmation, physical touch. These two meaning ones.
My love language to you, right?
Yes, to me. Not to yourself lah, obviously. Yeah, to me.
I mean, I wouldn't say physical touch is one of mine. My love language I think my love language to you is, I don't know if you realize, is actually gifting.
Yes.
Yeah. It's actually gifting.
I think it's one of it lah. Like for me, but it's just that too is the one that like stands out.
Yeah. But I feel like gifting lah, because to be honest, really the way I show love to Miza is I buy her stuffs. It's evident, because the first time, like the way I asked her to be mine,
true,
is a Swarovski necklace.
Yes.
So yeah, then after from there, then I buy her a lot of gifts. I spoil her with a lot of things. So I think my love language to Miza is gifting lah.
Yep.
But then let's talk about you lah, Miza. Although it's hard to say what's your love language, but I feel your love language to me is definitely not words of affirmation. Definitely not lah. If I were to say that, I will lah. Then I think it's.
I don't represent any.
You do. I just want to think of the right one.
I need to go and reevaluate myself.
Okay, I think yours is
You better answer fast.
I think yours is quality time lah.
Oh really? Not acts of service. Oh actually no. Don't know.
I think it's quality time lah. I think
Is
you
it?
give me quality time. Like it is. You see, the thing is,
Guys, I don't want to continue this podcast today. I will cry already. As if I'm
Okay,
not
you see-
fulfilling any of the acts of
okay, you
service.
see, Miza is a really non-expressive person. Okay, she wouldn't even say "I love you" to me. Sometimes it takes a good amount of effort to get those 3 words out of her mouth to me. Okay, so I don't think words of affirmation is her strongest card lah. Okay, but then how she show her love to me is basically to be with me. Like when she's with me, she is with me. Like when she's with me, she's present. So the whole time that we're together is really of quality. We actually don't need to be together like more than a day, you know, that kind, like more than 8 hours
I
kind.
don't pester you lah.
Yeah. So but then when the time comes to be together, we make sure it's of quality. She makes sure it's of quality. So that means no movies. If you want to do movie dates, we're going to do it when the both of us are boring. Like we really got nothing else to do.
Yeah. I realized that as well. When we started dating, right, I realized that if it's with my past exes, right, it's always the typical date movie.
Yeah.
But I realized me and Nasru, right, our few dates, right, we
Yes.
never even watch movie. We watch movie only at our like months after
Yes.
we got to know each other.
We only watch Marvel movies together. That's what I realized
Yes,
because
yeah.
we are both Marvel fans lah.
Yes.
But until today, we still haven't watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Please lah, I want to watch. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that's our love languages towards each other lah. But other people, maybe y'all have different love languages, and then also I want to talk about physical touch, love language. You see, like me and Miza, we meet at the part of our life where we are actually, had a fair share of physical touch affections.
Yeah.
Macam we are at the junction of our life where we have overgrown it lah.
Yes.
Like we feel like physical touch is actually not the engine,
Yeah.
of our relationship. Like we
Yes.
actually, when we walk, as simple as when we walk, there's the both of us. We don't necessarily have to hold hands.
Yeah.
When we go home, we don't necessarily have to hug.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
be present.
some couples nak kena hug lah, and goodbye baby.
Yeah.
Then
But there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. It's just it doesn't work for us lah.
Yeah.
For us, it's like we don't need to hold hands.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we know for a fact that our love language that we have together works best lah. So sometimes I know that since Miza is a non-expressive person, all that matters is that she was with me before the day ends. She wanted that quality time to happen. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I think for the both of us, physical touch has outgrown us lah. Yeah.
We mature over time lah. For both of us, we mature over time. We realize that physical touch is not at the top of our list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop lah. Okay, so moving on with the topics. So we would like to share with you a few of our relationship experiences lah. Okay. So maybe you want to start with the first experience?
What again? BTO, right?
Yes.
Okay,
so acquiring of our
this is our
first house
first
lah.
time applying for BTO. We realized a lot of things lah. Like in Singapore, to be in a relationship, BTO. If you are taking your relationship to the next level, BTO is something that will always will cross every serious relationship in Singapore lah.
Yes, which to me makes proposal a bit
Very sad.
like
It's like before you propose, have you applied for BTO? like your proposal is sign up for BTO.
And then then I have a friend which whom I asked lah. Now he's happily married lah. Yeah, so he's happily married with his wife. I asked him, "Hey, dude, like how did your proposal go?" And after he answered me in a very funny way. What, BTO not enough which is
Yes,
true
which
lah.
is true.
Which is true lah. I mean, because when you go to HDB to get a BTO for you and your partner,
That's a confirmation.
It already means that you are going to be together in the future. Yeah,
correct.
so
Because
the
you cannot
purpose is
you cannot just cancel your BTO. Once you cancel your BTO, is another whole level of process that you cannot get
Yes.
again. Blah blah blah. So BTO is our Singaporean proposal, right?
Singaporean way to propose.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely agree. Yeah, so about BTO, so what happened during our decision making for BTO? So Miza did all the decisions. Can you believe it or not? So Miza,
really meh?
yeah. So like she decides, like, so the first decision that I make is the estate that we're gonna stay in.
Yes.
Yeah. So at first, we tried to apply for Sembawang last time. I think there wasn't much decision making that went on for the Sembawang estate because we both wanted Sembawang estate.
Yes, because we stayed near that area lah.
Yeah. And then we failed the first time. We applied for the 5 room.
We didn't get any ballot number. We were quite sad because we always heard like stories that usually your first time you will definitely get a ballot number. So we were we were very shocked when we didn't get any ballot number.
Yeah, we
at
didn't.
all.
Yeah. It was like straight up to our faces, like, no, bitch, no, next.
No, like you cannot stay at North anymore.
Yeah. So that failed. But then we didn't give up lah, definitely, because we need a house, right? Yeah. So we applied again. And then I decided, you know what? Let's get the hell out of North lah.
Yeah.
So we went to apply for PTO in the West.
Yeah.
Yes, I wouldn't say specifically at where, but it would be somewhere near Bukit Batok lah.
Yeah, and we realized that the BTO decision is what leads to the timeline of our the next phase of our relationship. So once we applied the BTO, that's where we decided, okay, when should we get married? When should we this? When should we that? Yeah. So the BTO is the starting point. Not our proposal, but the BTO. Very sad.
Yeah. And then after that, once we already got then we applied for the BTO for that place. Then thank God we got it. Although actually our ballot number was a bit more than the numbers of unit lah. Because if you all don't know, if let's say the number of units is 300, right? Then your ballot number, if you get, is around 298. Okay, then you are the 298th person to own that unit. So that means good for you lah. You get a unit for yourself lah.
Yes.
And then our number was above the unit numbers.
Yeah, we were like 27 numbers behind. So initially, because it's our first time applying for BTO, so we didn't know that if you are only a few numbers behind, there's a high chance that you can get a house. So when we got the ballot number, we were like, alamak, it means we cannot get lah. So after we got the results, we were like, okay lah, then it means we cannot get a BTO house. We thought. So we were like, okay lah, I think we have to apply for what's that called? Resale house lah.
So that's the one. So that decision about getting a resale house. So this is where I came in and said lah. I mean, like, if you want a resale house, first of all, at that point of time it was COVID, and then resale house at that point of time was super expensive. And then if you ask me, we can commit for a resale house, but I feel like I don't want to, because we're not rushing for anything.
Yes.
And the fact of the matter is, when you apply for a BTO, there's one con that most people are afraid of lah, which is the long waiting time.
Yeah.
Like 4, 5, 6 years. We get the worst case one lah. Ours is 6 years lah.
Yeah.
We have to wait 6 years for a BTO. But for us, it's actually a blessing.
Yes.
Because we have 6 years to prepare to build build a marriage lah.
Yes.
Yeah. So our decision on getting a house is definitely BTO lah. Definitely BTO over resale lah, for our case lah.
Yes. And I realized that the differences in our relationship, like how me and Nasrul as a person in the relationship, it makes the decision making very easy. It's like, okay, like me and Nasrul, we don't have to like discuss so many things. We just straight to the point, like, okay, what we want, okay, we go. And after that, what's our timeline? Okay, this. When do we want to get married? This. So we see, okay, is this a good choice? We just apply. Or we get, okay, then we decide the next step. We don't like, alamak, do we want this or do we want that? I think me and Nasrul, we are forward-thinking people lah. We just think about the future, like how it will help us. Like we take the 6 years as, okay, we got time to save money. Yeah, so it was not so hard to make a decision with Nasrul, because we realized that despite our differences, in terms of decision making for our lives, we were quite on the same ground, which is good lah.
Yeah, which is good lah. I mean, it's definitely good lah to have such ease in making decisions together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing in disguise that our waiting time is 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So knowing that we have 6 years to plan, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is the wedding planning,
Yeah.
which most of the couples actually what we heard lah. We have friends who actually went through weddings. They always share their sad stories about about the hard things like the hard times planning for a wedding and all. But for me and Misa, we we look at this as, at an angle where why you have to factor in all the bad things,
Yeah.
like some of the stories we heard is about in-laws not happy because of the venue, and then money not enough because the venue is expensive. So me and Miza, good thing is we have this consensus where we feel like if you have the money, you do it. If you don't have the money, you don't talk so much.
Yeah.
You know that kind of thinking, which I feel like macam most of the couples macam don't have gitu. They always feel like their wedding is a show-off platform.
Yeah.
Which
then-
makes their life actually very difficult lah.
Yeah, for me and Ashra, we are just looking forward to settling down at our house. Then from there onwards, so we take this wedding. If can, our wedding we want to be as small as possible lah. But of course, we would want to have
A wedding.
Yeah, a wedding lah.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
for
of course
just
lah.
for memory's sake lah.
Yes.
But
I think everyone wants one lah.
We want a wedding, but we want a wedding that we can afford.
Yes.
Baseline is we want a wedding that we can afford.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after that we don't have to make it so grand for no reason because the wedding is for all family.
Yes.
You know that kind of
Doesn't
thing.
mean that that weddings cannot be grand lah. If you can afford, of course lah. Like go ahead lah. It's just that for me and Nasrul, we know our budget.
Yeah.
We know what we can afford, what we cannot. So we will go with that lah.
Yeah. And also what we want to bring forward, like what we want to put forward for this is that actually when you make a decision, it's important to listen it's important to listen to what your partner have to say.
Yes.
Like make sure that every decision that you make individually is accepted collectively.
Yes. And there's another thing that I want to also point out. I think that choosing a partner, right, you need to think about their family members as well. Like choosing a partner, you are not only going to marry that person, you are going to marry him and his or her family.
Yes.
So you have to get to know your in-laws, your future in-laws. So I'm very grateful to have in-laws who are very understanding, who are on the same page as my parents as well and my family. So that is an advantage to our relationship lah, because they have about the same mindset. And for me, my parents, they are not very fussy. They don't control my decisions strictly. As long as I get to fulfill some of their wishes, for example, they want to be involved in my wedding in a sense that, for example, maybe they want to plan the transportation for their family.
Yes.
As long as they say I let them to fulfill this, then they are okay already.
Yeah.
So it's easy lah to fulfill my parents' wishes, because for them it's like they understand. Okay, if this is what you can afford, okay, go ahead. So I'm very thankful to have in-laws and family members who are like this the same mindset lah.
Yeah, and also importantly, you need to set your mentality right towards this kind of issues. Like you can tell us, you can come and tell us that, oh, you guys had it easy lah. You all have understanding parents and understanding in-laws. But that's not true actually. In a way, we still do take ownership. We have to take ownership of the decisions that we make. I won't deny that sometimes my parents wants to have a lot of inputs in my wedding. But then we have to give them an ultimatum. Example, if you want me to have this, if you want me to have this and this, I can pay for this. Are you going to pay for this?
Yes.
Yeah. So I threw the question back to them. You can call me kurang ajar what lah, but then we have to be real. So these are the kind of things that I do for my wedding, for my relationship lah. Yeah. So these kinds of decisions that I make also have to weigh in what Miza feels about it and what would Miza view this as, all those kind of things. So
So it's important it's just important to get to know your future partner.
Yeah.
And how and your future in-laws lah, because this will determine how because you're going to live with them forever.
Yes.
Yeah. So this will determine your life after this lah, after marriage lah. So like I know some people out there, they are not fortunate enough to have like understanding in-laws, or even in-laws who have the same mindset as their own family members, but some of them make it work lah. So it's important lah to know how to tackle them, how to
Yes.
how to understand them, get to know them better. Yeah. So it's just that me and Nasru, we are very lucky to have met each other,
Yes,
and
we are
our
lucky.
family members
Yeah.
are quite the same lah. Yeah.
Yep. So then, wedding planning, we got it down. So when is our wedding's gonna happen?
Next year, December. We're not gonna tell when and where.
But then, when is our BTO gonna be ready?
2026.
Yes. So 2024 and 2026. So we have 2 years of gap, So you all might be wondering, then why are you getting married when your BTO is not ready? Then where are you gonna stay? So a bit of context. So Miza stays in a like a 2-room flat. So where she shares her room with her parents lah. A 2-room flat lah. You can imagine for yourself. And I recently just moved to a 3-room flat because my parents sold off my 4-room flat in Woodlands lah. So I'm living in a 3-room flat now. So me and my brother shares a room. Then my parents is in 1 room. So when we get married, we don't have a room for each other. So we have this space problem, We don't have our own space. Me and Miza, we sat down, we talked about it. Like, we obviously cannot stay in each other's house. And if we do, we might have problems. So me and Miza is not a fan of staying with our parents. Not that I hate her parents or she hate mine. We just would like to have our own private space together when we get married. There is also an option of you getting married and then live separately, which is not conventional. But it does happen. It do happen. It's just that we feel like, no man, I want to be with my wife. Me and Miza.
It do happen if like the break time is around 1 month or a few weeks lah. I think that one is understandable. But if you're talking about more than a month or more than a certain period of time, then unconventional lah.
So it's like, how am I supposed to, like take care of my wife, things like that, because we are so far apart. Which of course, some people say, all this while we have been living separately. So why are we even talking about all this? But so we decided to get a rental house first under the PPHS program from HDB, which is quite affordable for us lah. So we decided on that pretty easily because we both understand the problems that we have. We know of our problems and we are being real about it. So this is the decision that we made. So we're gonna move it into a rental house. So be it lah, what kind of rental house is gonna look like, as long as we have a space for ourselves. Then we're gonna go there, stay there until our BTO is done, and then after that we're gonna move in happily ever after lah. So that's that.
So I think in today's topic, our take, at least for me, my take on this topic for relationship lah, I think that you need to take time to get to know your future partner. If you're getting serious, you need to take time to get to know your future partner and your future in-laws. And I feel that opposites do attract, but you have to communicate lah and see how you can balance out your differences lah.
Definitely.
Because differences sometimes will benefit your relationship lah. Because a bit like too much of the same thing, like for me, will bore me. It will bore me.
Yes. So that's what we believe in lah. And also in a relationship, you have to stay true to yourself lah. Whatever it is, when it boils down to making such a hard decision, you have to stay true to yourself. What kind of person you are. If you want to have a very grand wedding, for example, you can go and have it because that's who you are. But make sure you know what the solution is with your partner. Like those kind of things lah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you when we say stay true to yourself, it means like, okay, if a little bit also no lah. Like some things if you can give and take, of course lah. But important decision making, like how it affects both of your lives, you have to see lah. Both of you need to be very honest.
Yeah. So but then again, we are not professionals in any fields. So please just don't take us word for word lah. We are just here to say, like to share what's in our thoughts and in hopes that some of y'all can relate to what we say lah or what we talked about today.
At least enjoy what we share today lah.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So we've come to the end of this episode. So we hope that you enjoy listening to us, to our very first pilot episode for Blabber Station. Okay, we'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm Miza.
And I'm Nasro.
And this is the Blabber Station.